or 6 years went by where I did not buy a single new anime DVD. I just lost interest. I didn't care anymore. And it took me doing Anime Abandoned to make me realize why I loved anime in the first place. And it took me doing this episode of Macross Plus to make me realize why I fell out of it in the first place. Macross Plus is exceptional in all ways. But being exceptional means that there's not a lot like it. There has never been a better time to be an otaku than right now. We live in an age of unparalleled access to anime. What used to have been found only by rummaging through garage sales, bookstores, comic shops, video rental stores, and if you were lucky, dedicated retailers, can now be found streaming and free of charge. Our niche little hobby is now source material for Hollywood films. If you went back in time and told a DBZ fan in 1994 that one day there'll be an actual movie, he'd laugh in your face. That the film was awful is beside the point. What matters is that it was made at all, that someone recognized our fandom as a legitimate audience. And yet, we have grown entitled, and anime has stagnated. Too many shows compete for our attention and thus our money, and more studios and production companies rely on eye-catching ploys. Scantily clad women, homoerotic subtext, fan service. These kinds of shows have always existed, as there is a place for them, but they have wrongfully been used to set the mark. We are fans of an art form, and through our contributions and our devotion, this art form had reached an apex that saw the likes of Cowboy Bebop, Ghost in the Shell, Princess Mononoke, and yes, Macross Plus. Today the flag bearers of quality are Steins Gate, Death Note, Baccano, and Summer Wars. Fine works, all of them, do not misunderstand me. But do they belong in the same company as the former? If this is what represents the bellwether of anime of this current time, what does that say about the titles that fall short of it? Your standards may vary, of course, but I believe we have allowed ourselves to let our standards slip. In the presence of a surplus, we have traded quality for quantity, and challenge for simplicity. And thus, I ask you, of each and every one of you, everyone from the casual fan to the die-hard cosplayers and everyone in between, demand better. Demand better from the creators and the studios, but most of all, we must demand better from ourselves. Change cannot occur without our help, and the only way that directors and writers can have the courage to explore the uncharted and for producers to fund the untested is if we, the fans, reward them for it. Yes, the prospect of never being truly satisfied carries with it a grimness to it, like an endless path that has no end in sight. But we were on this path since the very moment that paint met cell, and the only way to progress and expand is to keep moving. The day may come when we will have surpassed even the lofty heights that were once reached, but we will not truly know until after the fact. Then and only then, anime can be truly as great as we think it is today. I'm Bennett the Sage. This has been my 50th episode of Anime Abandoned, and I'm ready and raring for another 50 and then some. Check your ass, people, because when next time rolls around, we'll be looking at... Oh, shit.